Hello and welcome to Start the Beat with Sykes. My name is Sykes and this is my podcast. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone who checked out the last episode. If you're one of those people, I hope you enjoyed the conversation and thanks so much for coming back. But for everyone out there who's new to the show, welcome. Feel free to make yourselves at home. And as always, there's beer, soda, water, coffee in the fridge. Cheers to everyone out there on the internet.
It wasn't always like that. It really wasn't. This band really just started as a way for me to become a better audio engineer, because at the end of the day, that's really where my heart and soul is at. It's just at audio engineering. And I grew up in the Clarion area, and a lot of people weren't really into the kind of melodic death that I was really into at the time. And like mid 2000s, late 2000s era metalcore, like Howard era Kill Switch, and like Parallels era As I Lay Dying. So I saw it as just a way of being like, yeah, I'll just do this myself. And I met Cameron whenever I was a student at Clarion University. We were both in the marching band at the time, and he was into the radio. He was into the radio program there, and I always wanted to do like a heavy metal themed show. So we just started talking. I showed him some of the demos that I had for, what was it, like Liars and Remembrance at the time?
Yeah, you just had those two. I remember you had a notebook of lyrics that when you first brought me into the project, my first thing was, let me see the lyrics. I sat down, corrected all the grammatical mistakes, and then said, all right, let's begin.
Because I couldn't get out of like that mid 2000s, late 2000s
well, you
era.
Said when
like,
you wrote that stuff, you were what, literally 15 years old?
15, 17.
Right.
Yeah. Liars and Deceivers being the first song I ever wrote. And that was, man, I go back and listen to that, and I'm just like, I can't stand to listen to this anymore.
I think that there's something fun that happens whenever you go back and revisit shit that you wrote when you were like, you had no idea what life was.
Oh, yeah.
But like, you're trying to write something deep. It's just like so funny. Like, oh, if you only knew, you motherfucker. It's gear up.
Yeah, we had that moment at a practice, maybe a month or so ago. I was like, yeah, let's do Liars. Let's try and put it back in the set list. We played through it, and I looked at you at the end, and I was like, what is this song about? I hear myself singing the lyrics, and my first thought is, what does this mean? And I can't think of the answer anymore. I'm too old.
I remember you were just like, yo, we have time. We should do Liars. And I'm like, why? Why? Why do you want to do this? He's like, we should totally put this in a set. And I'm like, no. And then we went through it, and you're like, okay, yeah, you're right.
No,
never doing that
right.
again.
That was a good call.
I think that you could probably just rewrite the lyrics and nobody would know. If you like the music.
Well, yeah, I mean, we probably could, considering that's something we did want to talk about while we're here.
Right. And so that's, as an aside, that's a really interesting thing about the time we live in right now is I think Future has done it, Drake has done it, Kanye's definitely done it. So at least on the rap end, I don't know of any rock or metal bands that have done this, but revising your album after release, because of the way streaming works now, it's possible. We even had a moment where I looked at you and I was like, hey, I have this new vocal line that I do live. Can we just throw this in and change the track that's already out and has been released for 2 weeks? And you obviously said, hell no. Why would we do that? And I'm like, because we can do that. You can just pull it off Spotify and we'll change it.
It was hard enough getting that original version of Night off of Spotify, and then just being like, hey, I know we've been a thing for like 7-8 plus years, but you have this version now, get rid of it. It's obsolete. It's garbage. Here's the one that you want. This is the one you want.
Yeah, no, listen to this, please. Yeah.
There's some really dumb things that happen sometimes with like trying to upload a song to the internet that has already been uploaded in one case. Like maybe like, oh, I'm recording. So within the Normal Creatures album that just came out.
Yeah.
A couple of the tracks, I think we had like pre-released them. So I was trying as like singles or something. And I can't remember exactly what happened, but I was trying to re-release it. but because iTunes already had a song with the same name and the same BPM and everything, I couldn't upload it. So fun fact, I think the first 4 tracks on the Normal Creatures album on iTunes are like 3 BPM slower or faster to get it through the system. Yeah, I just like time stretched it, like the smallest amount to get it through the algorithm.
Now you're more. What
the fuck?
Yeah.
Now you're more of a production guy, Brandon. How much effort would that take? Because you now have to consider if I don't know that much about production. If you're time stretching, don't you have to worry about pitch now?
No.
There are 2 different ways that you could go about it. You could do it monophonically or polyphonically. Doing it in a polyphonic sense would adjust pitch. Whereas if you would do it, it's honestly been so long. I remember we tried doing this with like some of your original demo vocals on Avant 4.
That's right.
Where we were like testing to see if we wanted to like do like a harmonized part, and it just didn't work out. And you're like, oh crap, I have to retrack this. I'm like, nah, dude, I'll just copy it and just pitch adjust it. And you're like, yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that you can do with the power of our current state of technology, but there's also some weird shit like, this is my music, why can't I just upload this to iTunes? Because it's already been uploaded. Well, it's different. It's a different, I don't know. I wish I remembered all the exact details, but the only way I was able to upload it was by definitely just time stretching the master the smallest amount.
That's insane. And I mean, it just goes to show that like we live in an incredible time in the music industry where streaming is so accessible and you can really do a lot to it, but it's not perfect. Like, for example, the band shirt I'm wearing, The Midnight, they're like a synthwave band. On Spotify, they're listing that they're playing in Youngstown next month. But what is actually interesting is that Spotify mistook them for the metal band Midnight.
Okay.
So that show is not listed on their website or any of their socials anywhere. But like I got a notification yesterday that said like, yeah, the Midnight's playing in Youngstown next month. I'm like, no. There is no way they're playing with a band. There's no way that they're playing with other bands like these. I'm trying to remember what exactly the other bands.
Sure.
Like you'd look at it and you'd be like, there's no way.
Sure. Yeah.